U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.
Granger Field, New Berlin, Wisconsin tonight. The Woodland Conference to be decided between two undefeateds, the Whitnall Falcons and the New Berlin Eisenhower Lions. John Weiser, Terry Kelly up in the booth. We'll have Mike McGivern patrolling the sidelines once again tonight. Should be an exciting matchup between these two undefeated teams. A lot at stake. The true Woodland Conference Championship tonight.
And Saturday morning when they meet for the seeding for the state playoffs, the winner of this game is going to get the nod as the number one team. So they're playing not only for the championship, but they're playing to see how their playoff destiny is set up.
Let's slip in the keys to the game while the teams take the field here. How do you have it drawn up for Whitnall tonight?
Well, Whitnall needs to play at another level. John Quinlan, their head coach, said that's got to rise. They can't let Eisenhower's passing game be effective. That's something that could really tilt the game in Eisenhower's favor. And they must wear down Eisenhower's two-way players. Eisenhower has 6 players that go both ways.
For the Lions tonight, what do they need to do?
They want to establish their running game and makes everything else for them go well. They have to contain Flores and Malman, the two top players on the Whitnall offense, and the backups that come in for Eisenhower have to spell their starters.
Should be a great matchup tonight. Temperatures in the 50s, a bit of a breeze out of the east here tonight as we get set for this one this evening. Our New Berlin Eisenhower High School Choir will perform our national anthem. Making the field and taking the center of the field will be our United States Army Color Guard.
And now, to honor America and those defending our freedom around the world and here at home, we ask you to remove your hats. For those who are able to stand, please do so. Place your hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem by the Eisenhower Choir.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glares, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there.
New Berlin Eisenhower Choir with our national anthem. And we're set to go here tonight. We mentioned before the West has won 3 of the last 4 of the Woodland Conference titles.
Right, and people constantly say there's a difference between the two divisions. I think Whitnall would like to prove that false, and so they'll be able to settle that on the field tonight.
Eisenhower going with the all-purple tonight with the white numerals. Falcons in the white jerseys with the navy blue pants. John Quinlan trying to do something no other coach at Whitnall has ever done, and that's finished the regular season undefeated.
Well, even getting to 8 wins in the regular season is a first for Whitnall, and so he's proud of what his team has accomplished, and rightfully so. And Eisenhower, by the same token, has come in and gotten over that hump, got past Pewaukee, Greendale within that Western Division.
You know, we've talked in previous broadcasts about the Division II level being loaded, but when you look at the potential playoff block in Division III, it's just as stacked.
And this southeast corner, you know, you've got Catholic Memorial in there. Whitefish Bay is going to be a Division III team unless there are some really strange going-ons in the last game of the season tomorrow night.
And of course, these two teams in the thick of it as well, perhaps playing for a home game for the first couple of weeks in the playoffs as conference champion, getting that in their favor. Stefan Flores, along with Andy Malman, back to receive. Eisenhower winning the toss, deferring to the second half.
Well, both of these teams have gotten off to fantastic starts in their first half this year. You know, outscoring their opponents like 220 to 6 or 231 to 13. It's unbelievable. So we want to see who comes out.
DeFrancis kick, and we are underway. Malman at the 5. Coming up the middle, cuts to his right. Out across the 10. Gets to the sideline, across the 30, and that's where he'll get there. A penalty flag in his wake. Malman with the return out near the 30-yard line, brought down by Jake Shara. Shara with the tackle, but a penalty on the play.
Nice deep kick by Nick DeFrance, who
Holding
happened.
offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That is our referee, Michael Arndt, here tonight.
DeFrance happens to be a soccer player and rarely practices with the team, but he's got an extremely strong leg as he demonstrated there.
So we'll get a look at Jake Flores at quarterback, the 5'9 senior. Honorable mention all-conference a year ago. He's rushed for 577 yards and 7 touchdowns this year. He's thrown 7 touchdown passes. They will go in their power look here, and they will hand it off. Malman trying to get up the right side. Will get a couple out across the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Malman's rushed for almost 900 yards this season and is really the key to the running attack for the Falcons.
Again, tonight's U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. And don't forget, tonight's game will be rebroadcast this Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Second down, 6, the ball at the 16-yard line. See Malman in that backfield, and too much time. Back judge throwing the flag. That usually is an indicator.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So perhaps a bit of the jitters here early on for this Whitnall team. A couple of penalties early on.
Right, and one of the little wrinkles they've got Corey Prom, who's typically a tight end, lined up in the backfield to be the lead blocker for Malman, trying to maybe run a little bit more of that power set.
This time they have same look here. They'll give it to Malman, trying the right side again. We'll get maybe 4. Spotted at the 15. There you get a look at the head coach for Eisenhower, Matt Kern. Devin Schlicht in on that last stop. There you get a look at the thick playbook. Coaches always talk about that.
Sometimes you can reduce that to one page.
There you
Win.
go. Well, key third down here. 3rd and 7 from the 15-yard line. Whitnall's first possession. Flores wants to put it up. Comes back near side. In and out of the hands. Incomplete. Looking for Alexopoulos. Dan there along with Brett Angelo there on the stop.
Angiolo last year was a first-team all-conference selection. Might have actually gotten there a shade early if you watch that replay.
Oh, he did get a hand on the back, but they let it go. So the Eisenhower defense gets a 3 and out. Jake Belangi and Jaden Olson standing deep to receive the punt. Davies, a junior, does the punting here. Good snap. Gets off a high but short kick. It will bounce at the 45, and that's where it will be touched dead at the 45-yard line. Just a 30-yard punt, so the Lions with good field position, their first possession here of this first quarter.
Now, we mentioned a couple of moments ago that first half dominance, and Eisenhower has outscored its opponents 243-7 in the first half. I'm sure they'd like to get that kind of rhythm going right away tonight.
Well, coming up later tonight, we'll highlight an important point in the game as our watershed moment. That feature being brought to you by Sweetwater, Southeast Wisconsin Watersheds Trust. Bryce Miller has all of the passing records here for Eisenhower. Will hand it off. Big hole up the middle and more. Nice hole up the middle. There's a pickup of 14 by Himmelspach. Jack Himmelspach, the running back, the junior. Pelkoffer was there to make the stop. They'll go a hurry up. They'll just run it right up the middle again. Down to the goal line. Touchdown, New Berlin Eisenhower. Jack Himmelspach on the hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Runs it in from 29 yards out. 2 plays. Eisenhower on the board.
Well, when we saw Himmelspach in warm-ups, he looked a lot bigger than he did the other night at practice. They list him as 196, but he might be about 210, and he runs hard. A converted tight end.
That's right. He started out his career as a tight end. Going into last year as a sophomore, was a tight end. Miller for the extra point. It is up and it is through. 9:49 to go here in this first quarter. 7-0 Eisenhower.
Bryce Miller on the year now is 40 for 41 on his extra points. I mentioned before, he's an outstanding athlete.
But look at this hole up front. Again, the thanks to Devin Schlicht and Seth Luckman, the left guard and center, opening up that hole, and just between that A gap, that's where he ran.
Yeah, that left side of that Eisenhower offense, 3 seniors key the way on that side, and Luckman, Schlicht, and Abbott, and you can see how they sometimes get that quick lead.
So quick 2-play, 44-yard drive, capped off by the 29-yard run by Himmelspach. That is his 11th touchdown of the season. Let's head down to the sideline and John Pearson.
All right, all year long we haven't been able to do this without great sponsors like Brighton Stratton College and Chris Fall from the admissions at Brighton Stratton College. Talk about why it is so important to this school to be a part of Thursday Night Lights.
Yeah, it's been great, John. We've been launching our Division II junior college athletics with the program. We've got 8 sports right now, so it's very exciting for us to be a part of it. Athletics is continuing to grow as well.
And what's been the bonus of all this? It seems like all year long you've gotten different coaches and people to school out here. It's been an amazing experience being involved with Brighton Stratton and TNL.
Yes, absolutely. So a bonus for us is it's a win-win from getting our name out in the community, being another player from athletics, but then also we're attracting students we haven't done in the past.
All right, great, Tim. Thanks so much for being a part of TNL, guys.
John, thank you. Thank you to Bryant and Stratton College Athletics for jumping on board this year of our Thursday Night Lights telecast. Perez with the return on the kickoff to the 28-yard line, and this is where the Falcons will start their second drive tonight, a 3-and-out early on. Flores will get in under center. One of the few times we'll see him there. Power formation, I formation. And they'll give it to Malman, and Malman stuffed up the middle that time, right through the heart of that defense.
Well, unlike the last set of downs when they took the tight end Prom and put him in the backfield, this time they took number 40, Brant Hausch, who typically is an offensive lineman. They have him as that lead back position trying to open a hole.
Let's head down to the sidelines and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, listen to the defensive coordinator from New Berlin Eisenhower. He said, boys, they're trying to go up the middle. Let's make sure that we understand our gaps. And when they go 2 receivers stacked like that, they're going to try to go left. So take a look at what they're doing on the outside with New Berlin Eisenhower's defense.
Mike, thank you. That's Sean Crowley, the defensive coordinator, and a sharp cookie himself.
Right, and they've got a couple of younger kids, which is rare for this Eisenhower team, but Isaac Freichel's a sophomore at the end, Devin Schlicht in the middle, Max Tipple right beside him at 281. Mark Shields, one of the players we featured before the game, 253-pound junior at the other defensive end.
3rd down and 6 for the Falcons. Flores going to run option. The pitch back to Malman, and he is met in the backfield. There's Mark Shields, who we featured on our defense here, along with Psyche Bowden.
Psyche is another one of the two-way players for Eisenhower, and they had that option covered very well.
So once again, a 3 and out. Falcons forced to punt. Davies will kick this one away. Again, it will hit the turf at the 40 on one hop. Trying to break through on the return, Belangi. And Belangi with a nice return out short of midfield. Dylan made him there to make this tackle for Whitnall. So again, a short field here for the Lions with a 7-0 lead.
Right, and we'll see if they'll try to continue to make that running game go, because if that continues the way it has, it really opens up Bryce Miller's passing options.
Helluson will split out to the left side. 2 receivers here to the near side for the Lions. Now they send the man in motion, Lang. Lang, the tight end, will line up left side for Miller. And they will hand it off. Cut back to the right. Breaking tackles. Belangi lowers the shoulder across midfield into Falcon territory before he's finally wrestled down near the 35-yard line. Pete Miller there to make that stop. Another first down. Again, first downs in this quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Now, last week, Belangi against South Milwaukee had 151 yards and 13 carries, while Himmelsbach on 11 carries at 124 yards. So this duo is quite used to grinding out yardage.
Tyler Arthur learned the hard way. You can't arm tackle Belangi. Belangi now in motion. They'll fake the swipe. Miller flushed out. Coming back to the ball, making the catch before going out of bounds. Looked like Helluson coming across the field to make that catch for Eisenhower.
Yeah, he was a first-team all-conference selection last year. Stefan, an outstanding athlete, basketball, went to state and track, all-around athlete.
Wow, right in front of the official, said it was a good catch before he went out of bounds.
Still first down.
So a block in the back moves the football back to the 49 of the Lions. So first and 27 here for New Berlin Eisenhower. So it erases what was a good play by Helluson. Coming around the left side, Himmelsbach. Himmelsbach with a hole, cuts back across the middle. He'll get most of that and a little bit more back on that carry. Pelkhofer finally got him down to the turf.
Right, and you can see that Himmelsbach is an extremely hard runner. And he ran right through that first tackle.
Watch this nice little cut. And then he just lowers the shoulder, has that runner lean. Once again to the sideline we go, and Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, this coaching staff at New Berlin Eisenhower are pretty fired up. I love John Kazabowski. He was my high school football coach at Mesmer. He's still running the sidelines. He looks great.
Himmelsbach with another nice run inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Lions. Himmelsbach having his way. Breitenstein there to make the tackle along with Pelkhofer.
Right now, Whitnall is kind of in a little state of shock. It's just, how they're ripping off these huge chunks, and Eisenhower is just going full bore right at him.
First and goal for the Lions at the 9-yard line. Midway point of this first quarter. Lang in motion, lines up right side. And a flinch up front.
The snap, encroachment, defense, penalties half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Michael Arndt busy tonight. All the penalties, most of the penalties, that's 3 now on the Falcons.
Yeah, Coach Curran said they want to run that inside zone, and Himmelsbach has made that go so far.
It's time they'll hand it off to Belangi. Belangi into the end zone, touchdown Lions. Jake Belangi with his 10th touchdown of the year, and it's a 13-0 lead before the Falcons can realize what's going on here.
One of the things that is a little misleading, you look at the statistics for the year and you don't see a 1,000-yard rusher. You don't see somebody who's caught up, 1,500 yards in pass. That's because they get so many points. They're taking out their starters early in games.
Extra point is on the way, and it is good. 5:46 to play here in this first quarter. We'll step aside. It's been all New Berlin Eisenhower from the start. The Lions 14, the Falcons from Whitnall nothing. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights on My 24. $14-0 Eisenhower on top of Whitnall. What do you do when you're the only man in a house full of women? Well, don't miss Tim Allen in Last Man Standing, weeknights at 6 and 6:30 on My 24. Well, if you're just tuning in, you've missed a couple of quick drives here by New Berlin Eisenhower. 44-yard drive in 2 plays and a 52-yard drive in 4 plays, and just like that, they're up 2 scores.
Yeah, they've got the Eisenhower Ikes, we call them. They've got that ground game really rolling.
There you see the numbers on that last drive. Belangi with the touchdown, his 10th of the year. At 6 rushing attempts now for 108 yards by the Eisenhower offense. Tom Sweattle, our stat man all season long. We appreciate his hard work.
Fastest stats in the West.
Many a pencil each and every Thursday. So it'll be Flores on the return out to the 20-yard line, and that is it. Stay tuned at the end of the game. We will highlight our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong. Jimmy Arcuri getting credit with that special team tackle.
Another outstanding kickoff down inside the 5. And great coverage by the kickoff team.
Well, after taking a couple of body punches here, let's see what the Falcons come out and do from their own 21-yard line. They'll give it on a fake, and they'll pass it out complete. Flores to Flores that time. Jake to Steffen. Angiolo there to make the stop. First team all-conference a year ago. Gain of 3 on the play will set up a 2nd and 7.
Initially, Coach Quinlan said they were hoping tonight to come out and kind of establish a little of their power game, but I think they're finding out that Eisenhower defense is so tough, so they've got to make the passing game open up some of those lanes inside.
2nd and 7 from the 24. And they'll work it from the pistol. Corneo in the backfield. Flores is going to open it up, gets it complete. Far side. Alexopoulos there on the catch. Angiolo again in on the stop. Once again to the sidelines we go, and Mike McGivern.
Hey, guys, exactly what the Whitnall coaching staff was asking for. Let's come out and have 1 first down. Get 1 first down, try to roll from there. And, Terry, I think you're right. They're going a little bit to a plan B. They're going to try to pound up the middle. They're going to spread it out a little bit and start throwing the ball a little bit here.
Their initial first down of the evening here. 1st and 10 from the 33. Flores will hand it off. Isaiah Corneo, a sophomore with the carry, his first tonight. Gain of about 1 on the play.
I don't know whether they're trying to change something up. They had taken Malman out for that initial 2 plays.
Max Tipple and Mike White credited with that last defensive stop. 2nd and 9 from the 35. Malman tries to bounce it outside to his right. Nothing doing. Lions string it out nicely up front. Freichels, Schlicht, Tipple, Shields all doing their job up front for the Lion defense.
Yeah, they play a 4-4 defense, and that front 4 for the Lions is extremely mobile. Very well, Shields, we mentioned, is a 3-year starter, and really does that. And it's odd to see Freichels, a sophomore, kind of break into that group, that veteran group as well.
3rd and 7 from their own 35. Late here in the first quarter, trailing by 2 scores. Flores on the scramble, not going to get fired. Lion defense up to the task once again. Lang and Tipple both there. Will get credited with the sack, a loss of 5 on the play.
Yeah, Lang, another one of those two-way players, 6'2", 188-pound senior, linebacker, tight end.
Davies on to punt for the 3rd time here in this first quarter. Belangi and Olsen standing deep. Belangi will let it hit the turf. Will pick it up at the 29, tries to circle back across the 30. Driven down at the 32-yard line. Dominic Trimboli there defensively for the Falcons. And so the Lions, with 2.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter, will start at their own 32. A little better field position if you're the Falcons here, at least to get the punt out and flip the field somewhat.
Right, they got a little bit of an offensive surge going there, but they weren't able to sustain it. And they've got to find a way to get Eisenhower off the field and get back on offense and see if they can get their offense to start clicking.
Haluson will line up here on the near side on 1st and 10 from the 32. Now they'll roll one of the backs out of the backfield. They'll hand it up the middle. Hemmelsbach again across midfield down to the 47 of the Falcons. 21-yard pickup. Pelkoffer again there on the stop. Busy tonight.
That inside zone play is really working well for Eisenhower, and Pelkoffer unfortunately is getting a lot of tackles. We're mentioning his name, but that's not what you want, is your safety be the man having to make all the tackles.
Gain of 21, 1st and 10 from the 47. They'll try it again. Breaking tackles, 9-yard pickup. Hemmelsbach once again. Tyler Arthur, the outside linebacker, his first stop tonight. Sets up 2nd and 2 as we crawl under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Again, it's Hemmelsbach, and again with a hole over the left side. They just have not found an answer for Hemmelsbach thus far. Galindo and Klatkowitz both there on the stop. But it will be enough for a Gruber Law Office's first down for the Lions.
The offensive line for Eisenhower is really putting on a clinic here tonight of how to block a defensive front.
3rd time for Hemmelsbach. Stop him just shy of the 25-yard line. Trimboli and Galindo both there. Second down, 5 from the 25. Hemmelsbach down to about the 20. He stopped short of the first down. Zach Poliska, the senior nose guard, able to make the stop that time. Under a minute to go here in the quarter.
Well, the key to that zone play is your linemen stepping together, making contact, one guy taking over the block, the other guy going to the second level.
This time Miller trying to get the edge. Miller will get it inside the 15-yard line to about the 13. Late penalty flag after the play. We'll add another personal foul to the end of the run. Miller was there on the stop. Maybe a little too aggressive along with Vasila. Vasila was out there, the sophomore.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense.
We mentioned
penalties half the distance of the goal.
Mentioned earlier what a tremendous athlete Bryce Miller is. He's an all-conference basketball player, went to state in the 800 and the 4x4, showed us some of that speed right on that play.
Yep, it was Vasula, the 6'4 sophomore, late well across the boundary. First and goal from the 7. Hemmelsbach left side. Hemmelsbach just short of the goal line. Sets up 2nd and goal from the 2. Vasula there to make the tackle for Whitnall.
get a little crossing action in the backfield. We couldn't quite see the whole thing, and they're freezing those linebackers, and the blocks are getting to that second level, opening the hole.
Himmelspach dives to the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, New Berlin Eisenhower. Himmelspach, his second touchdown of the game, 12 on the year. And it's been all Lions from the get-go.
You know, you've got not only those 5 defensive linemen, but then you put Joey Lang, the tight end, on the end of the line. Tremendous push and a surge.
Miller for the extra point. And this will be whistled dead. Offside on the defense. The kick was good. I believe the flags and the whistles stop play. As I think the discussion that our referee Michael Arndt is having with New Berlin, are they going to count the extra point, assess it on the kickoff?
Seth Buckman to snap. Brett Angiola to hold. Bryce Miller to attempt the extra point.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense. New Berlin chooses to accept the 5 yards on the kickoff. We'll retry.
Not sure I understood that explanation.
You either accept the play or you assess on the kickoff, and the kick was good. Well, we'll do it again. Miller for the extra point, and it is good. 21-0 Eisenhower. They have jumped all over Whitnall here from the early going. Once again to the sideline, and Mike McGivern.
So, guys, you know I love watching coaches and how they coach. Coach Crowley, 2 Coach Crowleys here at Eisenhower. Here's what I like. They talk to their players, and they tell them what's important, then they walk away. And they come back 45 seconds later and say, do you understand why that's important? Let's go through it one more time. When they talk, all eyes are on those boys. Good coaching staff here at Eisenhower.
Mike, thank you so much. Stay tuned at the end of the game tonight. We will highlight our play of the game, brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. And right now, it might be featuring New Berlin Eisenhower's offense.
And their defense, which has really stopped Whitnall. And I know John Person in his pregame show said the wonderful respect that the Crowley brothers had for each other. But can you imagine if one had the upper hand in a game, what it would be like on that Thanksgiving dinner? Oh, I would imagine. That's why they both have their groups performing, at a top level.
Nick DeFrance, the senior soccer player, does the kickoffs for the Lions. He's been busy in this quarter. Gets another nice kickoff here into the end zone for the automatic touchback. Not much you can do, Stefan Flores, that time. Once the ball is in the end zone, it's the automatic touchback. Well, Whitnall has to regroup here in a hurry. This is getting out of hand.
Right. Sometimes, teams get off to that, jet start, and a team is able to rebound and catch up. But you don't want to run out of time. And so Whitnall needs to be able to sustain an offense. Obvious point.
Jake Flores, House the fullback, Malman the tailback. Malman trying to go up the middle, nothing there. Very little, if at all, to end our first quarter. It's been all New Berlin Eisenhower here tonight, as the Lions have jumped out to a 21-0 lead over Whitnall Falcons, the Woodland Conference Championship game. Our Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Here from New Berlin. The Eisenhower Lions over the Falcons 21-0. Second down and 8 for the Falcons, going left to right here in this second quarter. The ride to Molman once again. Gain of about 3. So 3rd and 5. Davey Council credited with the stop defensively for the Lions.
Yeah, Council's one of those guys that's a swing player for Eisenhower. They got him in now at this point for Devin Schlick, so they can kind of rest a couple of those guys that have been going both ways.
They'll stack 2 receivers here to the near side as Flores, under pressure, cuts it upfield. And Flores trying to stick that ball out for some extra yardage, going to be close to a first down. So 4th and less than a yard. Do you roll the dice here if you're John Quinlan?
I think John is thinking about it right at this point. They're hesitating. They know they have to kind of stop this onslaught. So a little bit of a gamble, but big game. I guess you say, what the heck are we going to wait for?
Well, they are going to go for it here. I would think it's going to be Malman. It's Flores on the quarterback keep. Moves it across the 30-yard line. We'll have our first down. This quarter brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.
You saw Mark Shields splitting that block and eventually getting the tackle. 6'2", 253-pounder. Last year as a sophomore earned honorable mention honors. Very strong, very quick, very agile. I believe he throws the shot put for the track team.
Get a good look at that. Flores, the forward progress. He'll work from the pistol. Gonna hand it off. Not much there again. Malman, very rough sledding here offensively. Joey Lang there to make the stop, but a couple weeks ago we saw Malman and he was ripping off chunks of yardage there early on against Greenfield, but tonight it's been 1 to 2 yards max.
One of the things you're seeing is every time there's a stop, you're seeing 3-4 Eisenhower defenders right around the ball.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. We'll go with their power look here. Again to Malman, and again, nothing there. Again, they've moved Brant Hausch, who was their backup left guard, into fullback this week. The 5'9", 215-pound junior going with what they call their heavy package. Council and Tipple were there to make the stop, but a gain of about no gain here, it looks like. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Council and Tipple both been in on 4 tackles already. The middle of that Eisenhower defense extremely stout.
See Alexopoulos here in single coverage to the near side. Flores rolling right, under pressure, nothing but purple shirts. A late penalty marker thrown. Belangi credited with the sack, but there was a flag also at the point of the tackle. Michael Arndt, our referee.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. Penalty is 15 yards. It'll still be 3rd down.
So a face smash penalty during the tackle. Maybe we'll get one more look and see if that was the case.
3rd down and 4.
Yep, right there. He had the hand, the left hand across the cage. Didn't really grab it, but again, got it.
Kind of came over the top of the helmet as he came in on that blitz.
So take away the sack from Belangi. Sets up 3rd and 4. Again, they're in that I formation. Play fake to Malman. Again, Flores under pressure. Flores waiting for someone to break back across the middle. It is caught after it was tipped. Alexopoulos with the catch, but as he circled back, lost the first down. He gave it up. Jake Shara was there to make the stop. And forward progress, they will give him the first down.
That was going to be extremely close. Kind of a judgment call where he caught the ball and where he was spun back to.
Watch this ball get tipped right there. Good job by Alexopoulos to concentrate on that football, and forward progress will be enough for a Bryant and Stratton College Athletics first down. So Whitnall stringing a couple of first downs together here early in this second quarter, trailing 21-0. Malman again trying the left side. This time a little better yardage, maybe 4. Out to about the 45-yard line. We'll credit Tipple with the stop. He's got 5 tackles already tonight.
Once again, you're trying to get a little ahead of the chain so you've got some more options in your play calls. And so if they can keep going that 4 or 5 yards on first down, it gives them a heck of a lot better chance.
Second and 7. Coming around is Stephen Flores, and he'll be pulled down at the line of scrimmage. Shields, Mark Shields, right there with the bear hug wrap-up.
Impressive watching how well Shields moves for a player his size. But a 3-year starter, 26 solo tackles coming in this game, fights off his block, gets to Flores, brings him down.
You know when you've been hit by Mark Shields.
One of the players we featured.
So 3rd and 6 here for the Falcons from their own 47. Flores will give it to Malman. Stumbled as he got the ball and was tackled behind the line. Belangi there to make the stop. There'll be a loss of 1 back to the 45-yard line, and so 4th down, the punting unit coming on.
Belangi's another one of those tremendous athletes. Wrestler, made it to state last year as a wrestler, was part of a relay team that made it to state, 4x4 in the relay team. So you see these multi-sport athletes who have tremendous talent, speed, strength, all combined.
Davies on for his 4th punt tonight. Belangi from the 20, up the near hash, out to the 35-yard line, a 15-yard return for Belangi. Dylan Madem there on the special teams tackle.
A much better punt that time, but they were still able to get a return of about 10 yards out of it.
This week on Faith in the Zone, the most asked about show will be replayed as Tony Dungy joins Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltner to discuss his faith and how it has affected his life professionally and personally. Faith in the Zone. That's Sundays at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Belangi in motion. They will hand it off. Himmelspach. Maybe a yard. That might have been the best look defensively there for the Falcons. Klackowitz and company there to make the tackle.
Right, they fake that speed sweep, and sometimes the quarterback's going to do a read off that, decide to give the ball or to keep it. But that time, Whitnall's defense stayed at home, slowed that offense down a shade.
2nd and 9 for the Lions. Ball at their own 36-yard line. They'll fake. Miller rolling right, dumps it out, completes the pass across midfield, down to the 43-yard line. Joey Lang on the reception, picks up the first down. Aiden Galindo, the sophomore, there to make the stop.
Yeah, Lang a nice target, 6'2", 188-pound senior.
Had that one in the belly of Himmelspach, pulled it back out, and then found Lang downfield. Pickup of 21, 1st and 10. Belangi on the toss, coming near side. Belangi inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Breitenstein there to make the stop.
Yeah, Belangi was able to avoid the tackle of Tyler Arthur, an outside linebacker, take what looked like a loss and turned it into a nice gain for Eisenhower.
Right into your living room here. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. In motion is Olsen. He'll get it on the jet sweep. Olsen around the right side, penalty marker down. He'll get down to the 30-yard line. Gain of 7, but there is a penalty flag.
I think it's against Eisenhower.
defense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So second down.
Might have been on Belangi here on the near side. He was here setting up that block on the near side, and judging by his
Demeanor,
I'll say that. A little pleading in front of the official who threw the flag.
Well, in high school, they usually don't identify to the crowd who the perpetrator of the crime is.
Oh, but your head coach knows.
Oh, yes.
Belangi will line up in a slot far side. Again, Olsen in motion. Gonna flip it out. Little receiver screen there. Inside the 40-yard line. Nice pitch and catch that time. Couture there to make the stop as we head back to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So guys, many sidelines as I've been on the last 8 years, this New Berlin Eisenhower sidelines, these players are fully engaged in this game. They are cheering each other on. They're talking to each other off the field. It's incredible how into this game the entire team is. Also want to say hi to Becca from Clements at home watching us. She's recovering from surgery. Becca, get better.
On third down, Miller flushed out of the pocket. Will get it by foot as he takes it inside the 30, hit out of bounds, add 15 more. A very undisciplined Whitnall team here tonight.
Right. I mean, you see Bryce Miller turn on that speed and suddenly turn when they've got him penned in, suddenly Scoots gets a first down. And then you kind of add insult to injury if you're Whitnall and you get this late hit. It wasn't a super yard hit, but the fact is he was already out of bounds. No need to even come up there and make it look.
Oh, he was 2 steps in to the boundary. They'll get you every time.
Little frustration, perhaps.
After the play, personal foul, defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the run.
Ball is placed at the.
They'll put it to the 15-yard line, adding the yardage to the penalty. 1st and 10 for the Lions at the Falcon 15-yard line. One more look. Again, it didn't look like much, but again, he was 2 steps into the boundary. Can't do that. Belangi wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Vasula, the sophomore, there to make the stop for Whitnall.
Yeah, Vasula, a player with very nice size, 6'4", 280-pounder. That time gets a hit in the backfield.
Colin Bennett will exit. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Eisenhower. Belangi has single coverage here to the near side. Let's see if they go to it. They go to the back of the end zone. Ball in the air. It is incomplete. Looking for Hallison that time. The defense, I think, stripped the ball out of Hallison's hands. We'll take one more look.
Yeah, you see Stefan going to go up for this ball. You can see why he's an excellent basketball player. Number 5 Tyler Arthur gets his hand in there, knocks it away.
It's a great defensive effort
Excellent
by Arthur.
Play like that helped Whitnall win their earlier game that we covered with Greenfield in the corner of the end zone last play of the game.
That's right. Well, 3rd and 11 here for the Lions. Play fake, Miller. Going back over the middle, thrown through the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete. Looking for Lang that time. And it'll bring up 4th down. Looks like we'll get the field goal unit on.
You can see
Angiolo coming on will hold here, and it looks like it'll be Bryce Miller going to stay in the ball game and attempt this field goal. DeFrance is 3 for 4 in the field goals. Miller's 2 for 2 on the year.
Yeah, they apparently just used DeFrance on kickoffs. I wonder if the soccer coaches said, keep him off the field. Let's not let him go on too often.
So come from the 23. This will be a 33-yard attempt from the right hash. Kick is on the way, plenty of distance, and it is good. We'll head to our commercial break. 3 more on the board for Eisenhower. They lead it by a score of 24-0 over Whitnall. Bryce Miller, 33-yard field goal, makes it a 24-0 ball game here in favor of the Lions. Well, it's the ultimate test in speed, strength, and endurance. Watch American Ninja Warrior tomorrow night at 7 right here on My 24. And speaking of speed, strength, and endurance, had to get out of the Cruise Way tonight. We had our pizza delivery tonight from the Varsity Club, located 124th and Beloit. I'm going to give a shout-out to Mike and Ivan out there. And they supplied the pizza tonight. We had to get out of the speed, strength, and endurance of our crew. I still have all 5 fingers on this hand.
Well, I got to be totally honest. I didn't leave right away. Excellent pizza. Very fine job by the Varsity Club.
Never closed. 365 open 365 days a year. Mike and Ivan, thank you so much. This kickoff will squirt here to the near side. Out across the 20. Miguel Perez out to about the 25-yard line. So with just over 2 minutes to go, Falcons looking for something to hang their hat on. As Scafidi credited with the tackle, and that's not a good sign. Perez coming up a bit gimpy.
Well, over the course of the first 8 games, Eisenhower's been averaging roughly 30 points in the first half, and they're on that same pace right now.
Well, let's see what the Falcon offense can generate here late. Flores going to flip it off near side out to about the 31-yard line. Alexopoulos with his second catch tonight. Gain of about 5 on the play will set up a 2nd and 5.
Alexopoulos, an excellent receiver. He's a first-team all-conference selection last year, but they just haven't had a chance to really get the passing game in gear this evening.
Clock stop, minute 59 to go here in this first half. Flores looking left, nowhere to go. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Tipple and probably White, Mike White, the inside linebacker there to make the play. Loss of 9 on the play, back to the 20-yard line. Looks like Eisenhower going to take their first of 3 timeouts right here, thinking they could get the ball back here with some time and perhaps put this game away in this first half.
Well, they'd like to get to that 30-point mark that they've been doing in the first half. And once again, as we pointed out on most tackles, 4 or 5 Eisenhower players always around the ball.
I can't help but wonder, Terry, we were talking before the game, teams were warming up, then they stopped warming up, getting ready for the introduction. For like the final 10 minutes of the warm-up, Whitnall was just standing on the goal line, helmets off, hands on hips, just kind of waiting for things to happen. Meanwhile, Eisenhower was making their way down from the locker room and through their helmet tunnel here that they've got in the south end zone. So I was just curious how much that may have played a part in this so far tonight.
Yes, you know, it's hard to get into the side, the head of a 17, 18-year-old kid. We know watching college and pro, it's sometimes hard to get into those people's head, but Eisenhower certainly has come out here just roaring.
Not to take anything away from New Berlin Eisenhower, but it was just a curious look out there as the pregame was unfolding here toward the start of the kickoff. Flores gets it away quickly and throws it away incomplete. I guess you could say it was intended for Alexopoulos, but the pressure by White forcing Flores to throw it away. Now there is a flag in the backfield.
Intentional grounding, offense. Penalty is 5 yards from the spot of the foul, results in a loss of down, 4th down.
Well, things going from bad to worse here for the Falcons offensively.
Right. Whitnall hasn't had a chance to get up off the mat, so to speak, tonight. And Eisenhower, you know, kind of sees blood in the water, much like a shark, and going after it.
Well, I don't know if there was some miscommunication there or not, but Flores just looked at Alexopoulos' way and just chucked it into the sideline.
Well,
punt by Davies, trying to get it out of there. a short punt, and it will roll dead at the 34-yard line. Just a 12-yard punt. Make that a 24-yard punt with 1:38 and 2 timeouts remaining. Eisenhower can put an exclamation point on this first half with this drive.
You know, typically you might expect the first play to be a pass, you know, short amount of time and left. But once again, Eisenhower's been ripping off such big runs, they could just be as likely to run as throw the ball.
Bowden lined up here to the near side. 3 receivers here to the near side with Belangi in a slot. And that's where they look that way. They throw it complete. This time to Joey Lang. Lang moves the pile down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 14. Klatkowitz and Pelkoffer once again there to make the stop. Clock will stop as they reset the chains on this Bryant and Stratton College athletics first down.
Once again, you know, you're unsure. Are they going to run? Are they going to pass? And it opens up all kinds of opportunities for this Eisenhower offense.
Twins here to the near side with Belangi in the slot. Go back over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of the receiver. Incomplete, looking for Olsen that time. Back there defensively, Galindo, Aiden Galindo, the sophomore. And we've got a timeout. Looks like Couture is down with an injury for Whitnall. See if we get one more look on that play. Nice job in the backfield that time by Galindo, defensive backfield, to knock that ball out of the hands of Olsen. There's a look at that play from the end zone shot. Might have just got his fingertips on it and just deflected it enough to Joey Lang.
Yeah, the pass was on the mark. The defensive back made an excellent play. You know, Couture looks like he's got a problem in his hip. You know, whether he has what we commonly call a hip pointer or, you know, landed awkwardly one way or another, tough to tell right now. Player with some good size that Whitnall can ill afford to lose. 6'7", 270-pound senior.
And first team all-conference. Right there as he kind of left his feet. And at the bottom of your picture there.
Kind of ran into his own man there, one of his teammates.
Couture is up. Obviously in some discomfort here as he's making his way to the Falcon sideline. So this will be a 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Well, Eisenhower still has 2 timeouts remaining, so plenty of time.
Miller on the scramble. Going to go back in the end zone. Man there. Touchdown, Belangi. 20-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Belangi. And I guess we can say the route is on.
Belangi's 5th touchdown catch of the year. Not only an excellent runner, but a very, very fine pass receiver.
5th touchdown catch for Belangi. One more look here on the pass by Miller. 2 receivers in that neighborhood, both Helluson and Belangi. Miller's extra point is up and through. 31-0 New Berlin Eisenhower. 1:09 to go here in this first half.
Well, they're ahead of their usual first half pace.
One more look. Miller finding Belangi. 14 touchdown passes on the year for the senior Miller. See receiver and quarterback having a conversation here following that touchdown connection.
Yeah, Bryce as a sophomore didn't play football. They thought he was a young man with a lot of talent, but he's also a very, very fine basketball player. We mentioned his track success. I guess as a sophomore he ran cross country in the fall. Came back as a junior. How well did he do? First team all-conference selection.
A minute and 9 remaining here in this first half. 3-play, 33-yard drive. Belangi, the 20-yard touchdown reception. See what Nick DeFrance opts to do here on this kickoff. Last couple have been kind of little squib kicks. This time he's just going to send a short end-over-end kick that will bounce at the feet. Flores, and he'll take it down at the 22-yard line. Miguel Perez on the return, brought down by Helke. Eli Helke able to make the play on special teams. Not much going right in all three phases here tonight for Whitnall.
Elke had drawn a bead right on Perez and came right through, made a fine tackle.
Flores trying to set a center screen, and it hits one of the linemen in the back. There wasn't a receiver in the area. I don't know what that was. That looked like a middle screen. I don't know if it was intended for Corey Prom, the fullback, but he didn't get out there quick enough, and it was just linemen downfield. We'll get one more look.
Yeah, Flores is someone got their signals crossed. Looked like he was talking to Isaiah Corneo in terms of maybe they said one thing and Isaiah heard another.
Second down and 10. Flores on far side. Got his man. And that was Stephen Flores with the reception. The brother combination once again. Angiolo on the tackle along with Bowden. Nice little play there.
Yeah, right in between two defenders. Excellent throw by Flores.
44 seconds to play. Flores again looking to the air. Steps up, completes. Out to the 44-yard line. Alexopoulos, Joe Lang both was there for the stop. Dan Alexopoulos, the senior, 6'4", 185. Now the Falcons will take their timeout here. Their first of three with 26 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, obviously, Coach Quinlan and his offensive coordinator, Mark Johannes, want to see, can we possibly get something up on the board before the half, kind of try to restore a little bit of our team's confidence.
Eisenhower, the West Division champion. Whitnall out of the East Division tonight. And we mentioned in our pregame the West has dominated this over the last couple of years, taking 3 of the 4 since they've gone to the divisional format.
The last 2 games for Whitnall have been a little close. They had a real tough battle with Greenfield, followed by a very tough game with Shorewood Nesmer. And Coach Quinlan had hoped maybe those 2 tight games would have prepared them for this type of battle.
Well, if this holds true, this would be the 5th shutout pitched by New Berlin in the last 6 ball games. The only team to score in that span was South Milwaukee last week, as the Lions defeated the Rockets 35-7.
And that was a game where they had the subs in early for Eisenhower.
2nd and 4. Flores downfield to Stephen Flores. He'll make the catch and dart out of bounds near the 47-yard line. Pickup of about 13 should be enough for a Bryant and Stratton College Athletics first down.
Yeah, they're getting Flores out in a little half roll, get him away from that pressure that Eisenhower has been bringing. Might be something that Whitnall's going to have to continue to do in the second half.
Officially to the 48, 1st and 10. Whitnall, 21 seconds to play here in the half. Stephen Flores in a slot here to the near side. Flores, nowhere to go. Down he goes. Just too much pressure up the middle. White and Tipple once again, this time White getting the sack.
Yeah, Tipple in on his 6th tackle of the evening. Mike White.
2nd and we'll call it 17 here for the Falcons. They'll take their 2nd timeout. We mentioned both teams had a run there in the middle of the season. You had the 4 straight shutouts pitched by the Lions, but Whitnall also with 4 straight shutouts through the month of September, defeating Cudahy, West Dallas Central, Brown Deer, and South Milwaukee in that span by shutout.
Well, the Crowley brothers will at least walk in probably at halftime, able to look at each other and say, hey, I'm doing pretty well. How you doing? I'm doing pretty well. And Coach Kern obviously is going to be pleased. He probably will invite the 2 brothers over for dinner.
We had a chance to visit practice on Monday, and first opportunity to really meet with Coach Kern and talk with him, and very nice man.
Yeah, the younger squads for Eisenhower are doing very well as well. They won the JV title on Monday, I believe. They defeated Whitnall as well.
2nd and 14 for the Falcons from their own 43. Bad snap. Flores able to track it down, but under pressure. Still wants to throw. Finds his man up the middle. It's Stephen Flores with the catch, and just as impressive was the open field tackle. And timeout taken here. That will stop the clock. Late penalty too as well. Might have roughing the passer here on the Eisenhower defense.
Roughing the passer, defense. The penalty is 15 yards added to the end of the play. 1st down.
I'll have to see the replay, but it might have been Shields that time with the late hit. It was.
And if you notice at the end of the game, Haluson is in as a defensive back, trying to get some coverage and a little bit of a prevent defense.
That was indeed Shields on the roughing the passer penalty, which will move the football inside the 30-yard line. Here's one more look. Yeah, that looked like 2 steps. Usually they'll give you the 1 step, but anything 2 or 3 steps more, that's going to be the personal foul. So Whitnall will take their final timeout here with 4 seconds to play. Down 31-0. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll highlight this week's Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin Scholar Athletes. We'll also talk with a few of our sponsors. That's all coming up at halftime here tonight here at New Berlin Eisenhower. We'll get a peek at that Eisenhower Pride of New Berlin marching band as well. They're getting set for the state band championships that'll be going on at UW Whitewater this weekend.
Right, and you look at tonight, the dance team here, the cheerleaders, the number of young men playing football. They've got well over 100 players in the system. So you can see the community really rallying around all the activities going on here in New Berlin.
Your hometown.
My hometown.
Is where you're at right now. Money Magazine top 15 places to live. I saw that in the latest edition.
Wonder if that happened after I moved here?
I think so. So I think they probably got that tip from the Kelly family there. Flores with 4 seconds left, going to air it out. Looking for Alexopoulos. It is knocked away incomplete, and that will end our first half. Angiolo there with the pass breakup in front of Alexopoulos. All New Berlin Eisenhower here through the first 24 minutes. They post a 31-0 lead. We'll take that into the locker room here at halftime. 31-0 New Berlin Eisenhower over the Whitnall Falcons. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Midwest Surgery Center on My 24. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. 31-0 New Berlin Eisenhower. They have dominated this first half of play. Well, in Week 9, we'd like to highlight some special student athletes this evening. Our Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin proud to present our Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees. And this week's nominee from Whitnall High School is Kelly McElvain. Kelly has a 4.0 GPA and excels in swimming. She is a member of the National Honor Society, a 3-time state qualifier, and was selected All-State in 2016 in swimming. Kelly is very involved in volunteering through her church, St. Matthias, and works with youth sports in both volleyball and swimming. And from New Berlin Eisenhower tonight, our nominee is quarterback Bryce Miller. Bryce is a 3-sport athlete, carries a 4.167 GPA, member of the National Honor Society, and has earned 10 varsity letters in his high school career. Bryce, a 3-time state qualifier in track, and holds numerous school track records. He helps coach youth football and basketball camps at Eisenhower and is active in his church. Congratulations to this week's Scholar Athlete nominees. And then coming up in just a few weeks, one of our nominees will be chosen to receive a scholarship courtesy of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Check them out online at orthowisconsin.com. 31-0 Eisenhower over Whitnall tonight, the Woodland Conference Championship game. To the sidelines we go, and Mr. John Pearson.
All right, guys, Kevin Fitzgerald here. By the way, we just saw another state champion, possibly a state championship football team, your dance team out on there. And Kevin, well, that's, first of all, good athletic directorizing. So that's what that is. But talk about what you guys are building out here and what there's a good, solid history here, but there's something kind of special happening here, and talk about what's gone into that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Matt Kern, our head coach, is, you may know, I think you've elaborated on his backstory about him being a youth coach coming into being our head coach, and this is the last senior class that he's had as 8th graders, and I know he's very, very tied to this group, and I think they're instrumental in what they've been able to build in these short 4 years here with Coach Kern. The mentality that they have both in season and off season has been incredible. The commitment from all of our student athletes has been wonderful. I continue to say he has the best football coaching staff in the state. The amount of time and hours that they put in is incredible, and they're all doing it the right way too, which in my position is really all you want to hear.
And how important is it that not just the football coaches, every coach, first of all, seems to want to embrace guys doing multiple sports and having multiple interests? Because I remember growing up, you had to pick one, or if you were a good basketball player, you were taken away from the football team because you're not training all the time. Sure. It's been embraced here and in a lot of places. When, as an athletic director, when did that seem to be? That's actually a good thing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I do think we have a strong culture of multiple sport athletes here. I think it's a testament to our coaches working together and understanding that there's a lot of off-season commitments. Take summer, for instance. You've got basketball, football going on, baseball still going on in their season. So to pull them away, and I think it's impressive that our coaches get together and almost share the student athlete and make sure that they're not overdoing him or her in their sport.
And finally, I guess, is there anything that's been kind of surprising in this job as you've seen the positives? Obviously, there's a bunch of them, but maybe as this year has gone on, that maybe you've seen a story that, or some kid or somebody that's kind of surprised you and how special this year is.
Sure. It's football specifically, I think this senior class is something special. And I know a lot of programs throughout the state, they've grown up together, and nothing different with this crew, but it is a special group. They work hard. They do things the right way. I would say athletic as a whole, I think our student body has embraced a bit more of a high-energy culture. And I think if you take a look at the stands tonight, they're all into it. Our cheerleaders, our dance program, it really engages with our fans. And more than anything, I think the culture at Eisenhower has been fantastic so far this fall. So.
All right. And again, that's good athletic directorizing, guys. John?
You've invented a new word, John. I like it, directorizing. 31-0 New Berlin Eisenhower on top of Whitnall. We'll take a break. Back with more of our halftime programming after this. And welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. A 31-0 lead for New Berlin Eisenhower over the Whitnall Falcons. The Woodland Conference Championship game tonight on My 24. Once again to the sidelines we go, and John Pearson.
Well, Thank you so much. And Emmett Light's been out here almost as much as I have this year for the Salvation Army, one of the volunteers here. Talk a little bit about what's coming up. Obviously, the kettle is the thing that jumps out at us. You know, what goes into that? There is such a tradition behind it.
Yeah, so the giving season is upon us, right? So you guys are going to start seeing the bell ringers and the red kettles out there. We always ask that people really dig deep this time of year, but really any donation amount is super greatly appreciated. So we're pretty excited. It starts November 3rd, goes through December 23rd. To kick off the Red Kettle season, we're having a free pancake breakfast at the Milwaukee Public Market. It's November 3rd, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., free to the public, so come one, come all. It'll be great. It's going to be a really fun time.
All right, and one of the things you're hoping some of those people that come and enjoy the pancakes also want to volunteer and help you out. Talk about that push, trying to get more people to understand how crucial that is.
You bet, yeah. So this is the giving season, right? With that comes a ton of events and a ton of charitable opportunities to get involved with the community. We've got Toys for Tots. We've got the coat drive coming up. We've got some opportunities with the prisons. We've got Christmas feasts. All of these are really good ways to lend some time if you've got the time to spare. So yeah, we encourage you to learn more at samilwaukee.org.
Absolutely, you got this down. Thank you so much, and thanks for being a part of Thursday Night Lights, guys.
John and Eric, thank you so much, and thank you to the Salvation Army for being part of our broadcast each and every week. Time now for our games to watch. Week 9, brought to you by the Big 920 here in Milwaukee, and a couple of big ball games yet to be settled here as far as true conference champions.
Well, Hartford would like to get a piece of that North Shore title, and I'm sure Homestead will be pulling for them because it'd be a three-way tie.
Germantown, Sussex, Hamilton, and the Greater Metro.
Yeah, teams fighting once again for playoff positioning, trying to get to a 5-3 as opposed to a 4-4 record.
And I think this next one, Milwaukee Lutheran and Greendale, that's a seeding game, I think, to try and improve your stock in the playoffs.
Right. Milwaukee Lutheran's a team that's put a lot of points up on the board this season. Greendale, we know how well their program's done. And they've had a so-so year. They lost that game initially to Badger, but then they've come back and had a pretty strong season.
And on the Big 920 tomorrow night, it's going to be the game of the week featuring Catholic Memorial and Waukesha West. That's on 9:20 a.m. on the iHeart Radio app, keyword the Big 920. Pregame at 6:45. Dan Pfeiffer with a call at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Week 9 of the high school football season. We'll head out to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more. Hopefully see a little bit more of the Eisenhower Pride of New Berlin Marching Band and their performance when we come back to New Berlin Eisenhower. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. Granger Field in New Berlin tonight. It's been all New Berlin Eisenhower through one half of play. 31-0, the Lions over the Whitnall Falcons. The New Berlin Eisenhower High School Pride of New Berlin Marching Band wrapping up their performance. Moments and times, seasons of change, and we head down to the sidelines once again. Mr. John Pearson.
Absolutely. Beautiful music going on, especially if you're an Eisenhower fan tonight. And Sergeant First Class Lewis joins me here from the Army, and newly minted Sergeant First Class, by the way. Talk a little bit about being out here with the students, with the parents and all that. You get to put kind of a human face on it as they hear about the Army, but then there's a face of someone. What are you trying to emphasize when you're talking to people?
I just try to emphasize, that we all are part of the community, and that we are here just like they are to support the local teams and the students. So that's pretty much what we do.
Okay, when you're talking to them, what's kind of the response? Because a football game's a little different atmosphere than when you're at a school or if you're at an event. And does it make it feel like a more just relaxed atmosphere that, well, here we're just at a football game having a fun time?
Yes, it's a more relaxed atmosphere for sure. So we just try to, say hi to everybody and let them know who we are, that we're here to help support them, and that's it.
And to see the Thursday Night Lights experience, we've had some great games this year, and this one's a little bit of a blowout, but do you get to enjoy the moment and maybe even kind of recapture your high school glory days or anything like that as you look around and see the atmosphere of these games?
I do. I sure remember going to a lot of our football games and actually being in the marching band when I was in high school, so I do get to relive it a little bit.
All right, well, thank you so much for being a part of Thursday Night Lights and for your service, obviously. Guys, I'm with a much better class of people down here.
Certainly are. Staff Sergeant Nicole Lewis, thank you so much for your service. And for the United States Army for their sponsorship this year. That leads us into our highlight package provided by the United States Army, Army Strong. And really early on tonight, all New Berlin Eisenhower short field, short drives. This is the second play of that first drive, and it was Hemmelspach, the first of his 2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, Hemmelspach, the converted tight end, has certainly taken to that position in the backfield well.
Second drive, just as short, 4 plays, and it was Belangi with his first of his 2 touchdowns tonight.
Right, it's a nice duo to have back there in your backfield.
Come right back in that first quarter with a short 7-yard touchdown run by Hemmelspach, his second score of the ball game. That made it 21-0, and the Lions were not done. Flushed out of the pocket, Miller unfazed, found Belangi once again, a 20-yard touchdown strike, second touchdown of the night for Belangi.
Touchdown twins performing very well.
Absolutely. And as you can imagine, dominating the stats here tonight. 31-0 in favor of New Berlin Eisenhower. Back with third quarter action when we return. Welcome back to our halftime report here on U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center. 31-0. New Berlin over Whitnall tonight. Earlier, Kara had an opportunity to talk with our fine friends at Goodwill.
Thank you very much. I have Laura Sanders of Goodwill here with me. And Laura, not only is Goodwill your source for Halloween, but it's also your source for Six Flags Fright Fest.
Absolutely. So any of our friends and customers out there who want to get into Six Flags Great America this year and participate in Fright Fest, there's a great way to do that. So make a donation at any of our Goodwill store and donation centers, and then bring your receipt, your donation receipt, to Six Flags when you come for Fright Fest, and you'll get up to $25 off your tickets there, up to a 4-pack of tickets. So it's a great opportunity for you to get into Fright Fest, enjoy Halloween. Of course, we want you to shop at Goodwill and get your Halloween costume there first, so that you're in full season and full attire for Fright Fest.
And you can also win Fright Fest tickets through the costume contest as well.
Yes, so our costume contest, our DIY costume contest, the grand prize winner will receive a 4-pack to Fright Fest.
And where can folks go for more information about the contest?
AmazingGoodwill.com is our website, and you'll find all the details for all of these promotions there.
Thank you very much for such a great prize, and of course for joining us for Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you very much.
And back to you.
Kara, thank you, and we want to thank the fine folks at Goodwill once again for stepping up and being part of our Thursday Night Lights broadcast. Superhero night.
Well, right now the Supermen appear to be on the Eisenhower side, how they've performed this first half.
Yeah, they have gotten off to a quick start, took advantage of short fields on their first 2 drives, went on an extended drive, their third score, but just too much for Whitnall so far through the first 24 minutes.
Right, and can Whitnall get up back off the mat? They've had an excellent season so far, 8-0. You're never quite sure going into this game who's going to have the upper hand. Now you want to see how do our guys respond.
Belangi and Olsen will be the 2 deep men here for the Lions. Wanted to mention the dance team competing at state for New Berlin Eisenhower, but also the New Berlin Eisenhower High School Pride of New Berlin marching band going to be competing in this weekend at the state band championships up at UW Whitewater.
Yeah, they put on an excellent halftime show, well appreciated by the crowd here this evening.
Yes, they certainly did. Everything well received here at Granger Field. Belangi across the 5, 15-20. High steps another tackler at the 25 out to the 27-yard line. 22-yard return. Pete Miller there to make the stop for the Falcons.
Well, Eisenhower wants to see if they can reestablish the tone they had in the first half. By the same token, Whitnall has to come out, put a quick stop, try to get themselves on the board.
And Hemmelspach with 128 yards rushing in that first half and a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, we're stating the obvious here about what has to happen, but the confidence has to be regained by Whitnall.
Bryce Miller at quarterback. Gonna come back inside. Bowden, far sideline, across midfield and out of bounds, short of the Whitnall 45-yard line. Pelkhofer able to chase him down. A 30-yard pickup that time on a simple screen.
Yeah, Psyche Bowden, another one of those two-way players. We mentioned they have 6 of them for Eisenhower. And that time, caught the pass, little tuck under screen, broke free.
At the 46 of Whitnall. Belangi breaking tackles. Belangi cuts it back up the middle. It's a nice gain down to about the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 11. Pete Miller, the senior cornerback, able to make the tackle.
You know, Eisenhower seems to be right back into the swing of things here. Passing, running, it doesn't matter. They're grinding out yards.
Well, looks like Whitnall has changed things up here a little bit with a 4-man front defensively to try and shut some of that running game down.
Yeah, they look like they brought in number 71 to be Chris Watt.
Miller wants to throw on first down. Going to go for an all far side. Running underneath and unable to catch up. Stefan Heljusen trying to put that state track speed to use there. Nearly got that pass.
Yeah, he made it to state in 2 events. He was a 400 runner, and it was part of their 4x400 relay, and he had that little burst and almost made that spectacular catch.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Just underway, 3rd quarter. Lions, who won the coin toss and deferred, get the first possession here of this second half. They'll go Twins either side here on 2nd and 10. And they'll go to Hemmelspach on the ground. He'll take it inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Gain of about 8. Will set up a 3rd and short. Jacob Klakowitz there to make the tackle.
And one of the things we should mention here tonight, ball's a little wet, a little dewy out there. Seth Luckman, the center. Excellent snaps coming back. Last week we saw 2 teams struggle with that center quarterback snap, threw off their timings. Luckman doing an excellent job here getting the ball back to Bryce Miller.
3rd and 3. Hemmelspach on the delay will get the first down inside the 25-yard line. Klakowitz again there on the stop for Whitnall. 6 tackles for Klakowitz. Another Gruber Law Office's first down here in this 3rd quarter for New Berlin Eisenhower.
Yeah, Klakowitz, a first-team All-Conference performer a year ago, and racking up a tremendous number of solo tackles.
Belangi lined up in a slot here to the near side on first down. Fake the handoff. Miller rolling to his right. And just throws it away.
Excellent protection, but Whitnall done a fine job that time of covering all the receivers.
They got Davies in there also at a linebacker spot, kind of flushed him out and down the line that time. Forced him to throw it away. 2nd and 10. This time they'll put Hemmelspach and Belangi in the backfield here. Flanking Miller, the quarterback. Belangi over the right side. Belangi cut down to the 15 with a penalty flag down. Right at the spot where he was going to make that cut.
Carsel with the tackle for Whitnall.
Carsel making the stop. We'll have to check out the penalty here.
2 weeks ago when we had Whitnall on TV, we noticed they had a number of sophomores playing, and they're still a little young on that defensive side of the ball.
Offense, penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat that now.
So a holding penalty. just the third penalty tonight on Eisenhower. I don't know if we quite caught it there toward the back end of that picture, but that's where the flag landed. Let's see if we can catch it. Yep, right there. You saw the Eisenhower defender kind of get pushed backwards, and I think that's where the holding call occurred. Second down, 19. Ball back at the 34-yard line for the Lions. Miller with time. Gonna air it out. Has a man out there. Turns and can't come up with it. Kind of underthrown. Joey Lang, the intended receiver. Broken up by Tyler Arthur. We've called his name several times tonight in that secondary for the Falcons.
He had a key breakup in the end zone in the first half. Comes back again.
Just at the last minute, got that right hand in there and prevented Lang from hauling that one in.
The old day of face guarding, you sometimes wonder as you watch both the pro and college game what is and what isn't.
Well, 3rd and 19 for the Lions from the Falcon 34-yard line. Come back to near side on the screen to Hammelspach. He'll take it to the far side. 10, 5, goal line, touchdown. 2 different flags behind the play.
One of them for sure is holding on Eisenhower, the first flag. Not quite sure what the second one is.
One was thrown by the referee behind the line of scrimmage. The other was thrown, I believe, by the umpire in that linebacking secondary core. Probably got 2 holding calls here on New Berlin Eisenhower.
Well, right now it's not the Whitnall defense stopping Eisenhower. It's Eisenhower stopping Eisenhower. Something that I know Coach Kern's going to want to get cleaned up moving forward.
There are 2 fouls by the offense. Holding offense, that penalty is declined. Personal foul for a blindside block on the offense. That penalty is 15 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
That's that one of the newer rules in high school and college ball is the blindside block.
Once again, for player safety purpose, and I don't know if we'll be able to see that play come up where a guy is going to come
right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
And that's an excellent rule change that's been put in.
So 3rd and 32. Miller wants to air it out. Will take it down. Miller down the near sideline and will dart out of bounds short of the 30-yard line. He's short, well short of the first down. Bring up 4th and about 18 here for the Lions.
It looks like they're probably going to go for it. Certainly too long for a field goal, although last week a Kettle Moraine player kicked a 59-yard field goal.
They'll go trips to the left side here on 4th and 18 from the 31. Miller looking right all the way, has his man out there, makes the leaping grab inside the 5, down to the 3. Halyusen, the senior, with the catch.
Oh.
And that is your all-time leading receiver for New Berlin Eisenhower football.
And Bryce Miller had already taken over that role as the all-time passing yard leader for the Eisenhower Lions.
Miller to Halyusen. I know you've heard that before. For 30 yards, 1st and goal.
It's a 30-yard pickup by Halyusen. 1st and goal Lions. Again in the backfield, Belangi and Himmelspach. It'll be Miller, the quarterback, with the keep. Miller into the end zone, touchdown Lions.
You saw that crossing action in the backfield, which makes it tough for the second back to get it, but then Bryce Miller held onto the ball. The middle was totally open.
Here's one more look on that crossing look. Dives in for the score. Miller has tossed one tonight, now rushes one in from 4 yards out. Miller for the extra point. High snap, but whistles blow the play dead. And again, second time tonight, Falcons are offside.
Yep, encroachment defense. Penalty be assessed on a kickoff.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's Joey Lang snapping back there or Isaac Freckles. Doesn't matter. The kick is up, and it is through. 38-0, so we'll have a running clock here for Whitnall's first possession here in the second half. Down to the sideline we go, Mike McGivern.
So, guys, the offensive coaches here on the Eisenhower sideline is not happy with that first drive. A number of penalties weren't happy going to clean that thing up. I can tell you this, they're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. They're thinking about this as a playoff game, getting ready for the playoffs, feel pretty good about where they're at, but you'll see they'll continue to play hard.
Absolutely, Mike. And speaking of playoffs, listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores this Saturday morning at 10. It's playoff time. Mike McGivern, Ryan McMillan will be talking to a number of coaches as they head into or leave their seating meetings on Saturday. Find out who's in Saturday morning at 10. Only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Well, both these teams have to have playoffs in mind here. Now, obviously, Mike said they don't want to take their foot off the gas. But Eisenhower wants to make sure that they go into the first round of the playoffs healthy. Whitnall, on the other hand, has to come back and get a little sense of pride. They have to reestablish those good positive feelings they had at their first 8 games. So as the game moves forward, both these teams have to be operating in a way that's going to help them with that first round game.
It's going to be tough tonight, but stay tuned at the end of the game. We'll highlight our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong.
Has some very, very worthy candidates this evening for that honor.
We may have to go to a third, maybe a fourth ballot tonight. Who knows?
Right. See if there's a hanging Chad.
There's a future Lion ready to play football here. The kick by DeFrance into the end zone for the touchback.
I don't know what the young man has on the future for him in terms of soccer. I would imagine he's a very good player, but he certainly has potential to go to that next level as a kicker.
Yeah, he is. That's the second time tonight he's driven a touchback. Kick going all the way into the end zone. Well, Whitnall, you're not going to get it all back on one play. You just have to build a drive here and instill that confidence as the light rain, which fell here during halftime, starting to pick up just a little bit here at Granger Field. Jake Flores will throw on first down, coming back over the middle to Stephan Flores' brother, and has some room. Out across the 30 to the 33-yard line, pickup of 13, and a Bryant and Stratton College first down. Check that, a Gruber Law Office's first down here in the third quarter.
That's one of those things we're talking about. You've got to get back to feeling like, okay, we are a successful team. We can do this. And so, you know, you're not going to be able to wipe out what happened in the first half, but you've got to try to win the second half.
Lions playing too deep with their safeties here as well. I'm glad they give everything up in front of them. Comes back over the middle, bobbled, and then brought in. Out to about the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Alexopoulos with another catch tonight. Bartline there to make the stop. Tyler Bartline for the Lions.
Starting to see the Lions work in a couple of their reserves, trying to spell some guys, make sure everybody's going into next week feeling healthy.
Gain of 3, second down 7, ball at the 38-yard line. Flores, little RPO action here. We'll pass it off out of bounds. And a late penalty marker thrown by the back judge. A little too aggressive on the chalk that time by the Lions defense, Joey Lang. You get to this point, 38-0 ball game, and I think sometimes the officials start looking for things like this. They don't want it to escalate.
Right, you don't want somebody's frustrations to boil over, and by the same token, if you're on the upper end of the score, you don't want to get carried away. You want to make sure you're up. They're picking that up. All right.
They will pick up the flag and wave it off. Well,
it looked more like he kind of just gave him a light shove. It wasn't something that was done so forcefully that it was designed to cause any problem.
If there was a foot still in play when contact was made, you kind of let that go as well. And again, it came from the back judge coming into the play. So be a first down here for the Lions nonetheless from their own 45. Flores again going to air it out, and this time into the sideline. Alexopoulos was the intended target at the 45-yard line.
Once again, a little half roll for Flores, trying to make sure he can get away from the pressure. And those run-pass options, that's something that's right up Jake's alley. He is a good runner. We saw that in the Greenfield game a couple weeks ago.
Well, stay tuned. Following the game, we will highlight our play of the game. That's brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Again, a running clock, 4:50 to play here in the third. Flores will cut upfield. Flores to the outside will slide and avoid the hit at midfield. Boy, and he was lucky there. Looked like Angiolo about to take his head off.
Yeah, an all-conference performer, and you can see he was very aggressive coming up there trying to put a stop to that play.
There is a penalty flag down over there as well.
After the play, personal foul for targeting on the defense with a blow to the quarterback's helmet. It's a 15-yard penalty and first down.
So a targeting penalty. So there was contact. We'll take one more look.
I might not agree with that
no,
call.
No, I'm not sure about that either.
And once again, the referees are trying for player safety reasons to make sure they do things the right way. And it's a tough job. I don't know. I don't know how well we would do calling the game. No. So.
Well, Flores again upfield. Flores inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Devin Schlick, the senior, there to make the stop, his third tackle tonight. And that run-pass option that opens things up. And again, you notice the defense, they're dropping the two safeties deep, so this is allowing Flores with that opportunity.
Yeah, it creates a few more seams through which he can pop.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Empty backfield for Flores. Coming back, nice catch by Alexopoulos into the end zone. Touchdown, Whitnall. Post route that time for Alexopoulos, and he takes it in. His 5th touchdown reception of the year. And the skunk out of the box for the Whitnall Falcons tonight.
Right, and Flores was the real igniter for that whole drive. Matter of fact, Coach Quinlan kind of said that's the role Flores oftentimes plays for this team.
For Flores, that's his 8th touchdown pass thrown this season. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. 38-7, 2:54 to play here in the third. We'll step out. This is U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Northwest Surgery Center on My 24. Impressive drive by Whitnall. They get on the board, 38-7 your score. For all of the info on the green and gold, including special guests, players, and more, watch Locker Room. That's Tuesday nights at 6:30 on My Place for Sports, My 24. 7-play, 80-yard drive by the Falcons. Capped off by the Flores to Alexopoulos touchdown pass, 38-7.
Puts a stop to the running clock. And I'm sure Whitnall would like to see can they get another score on the board.
Line drive kick having some trouble. Peter Catris. And he is stopped at the 27-yard line. A little heat on that missile coming in on Catris that time.
Yeah, Peter is a starting defensive back, and they always say sometimes defensive back are wide receivers who don't catch well, but Peter on the year had 3 interceptions coming into this game. Certainly can handle the ball. It's getting a little, wet. A little dew is on the grass.
Miller back out at quarterback. 38-7 ball game with 2:45 to play here in the third. Himmel-Spock out to about the 30-yard line before he is stacked up. Seidler and Madum in on the stop. Madum's played a pretty good ball game tonight. That's his third tackle tonight.
Right. Inside linebacker position, and Travis Seidler, another one of those sophomores playing defense for Whitnall.
One more look here. All that action up front, that eye candy, if you will. Try and take the defense off the ball, and Falcons are up to that one. It's just a 3-yard gain for Himmel-Spock.
Let's go.
2nd and 7 from the 30. This time they'll swing it out. Belangi with the catch out across the 35 and out of bounds near the 37-yard line. Gain of 7, picking up the first down. Miller able to usher him to the boundary that time for Whitnall. Belangi with a pair of touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, you certainly like to get Belangi out on the edge of the offense catching that ball. We've seen his speed as well as his power displayed tonight.
Another Gruber Law Office's first down. One call, that's all. Belangi will line up in a slot here to the near side on 1st and 10. Belangi in motion. He'll take it on the sweep around the left side. Belangi with some running room, cuts it back across midfield. Belangi still on his feet, inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. 23-yard pickup. Galindo finally got him down for the Falcons. That jet sweep.
That jet sweep, it's become a favorite play at all levels of the game.
How about Himmel-Spock able to seal the edge that time on his block? Give Belangi the ability to get around the edge and cut it back toward the middle of the field.
You can see Bryce Miller eyeballing things to see whether he's going to pull that ball out and go right up the middle like he did on the touchdown.
From the Falcon 37-yard line, 1st and 10. They play fake to Himmel-Spock. They toss it out, complete. Lang inside the 10. Joey Lang on the reception. Miller with the stop. It'll be 1st and goal, Ike.
Well, this senior group who came in with Coach Kern when he took over the reins of this program, the late coach Jeff Setz had really established something well here. You got Frank Aingerfield, another Eisenhower coach, legendary coach, continuing that run here of Eisenhower success.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the Lions. Under a minute to go here in the third. See if they run that little crisscross with motion this time. They do, and they give it off. Inside handoff. Olsen into the end zone. Touchdown, New Berlin Eisenhower. Jaden Olsen, the 5'10", 180-pound senior, takes advantage of that crisscross motion for the 8-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, almost all these plays, have all kinds of elements to them, and so you're going to watch what gets set up. He planted that foot, turned it right upfield.
Once again, Bryce Miller to attempt the extra point. Miller's kick up and through. 45-7 Eisenhower. To the sidelines we go, and Mr. McGivern.
Hey guys, so the offensive coaches here on Eisenhower said, boys, let's answer that score. And you saw what they did. The defensive players on the bench here listening to Coach Crowley were not happy. Coach Crowley said, boys, relax, we gave up one. The one player said, yeah, but we didn't want to give any up to this group. And they said, no more. We'll see how they do on this drive, but I think they're going to start making some changes a little bit come early fourth quarter.
We'll look for those changes, and maybe that Crowley Thanksgiving table going to be a little bit more contentious, should we say?
I'm sure Jim is going to look at his brother Sean and say, who did well?
5 plays, 74 yards for New Berlin Eisenhower. And they answer the 80-yard drive by the Falcons. And we're back up above that 35-point plateau, so we'll have a running clock to at least close out this third quarter.
You know, one thing I want to mention here, Coach Kern, you can tell what coaches are like from when we visit them in practice. One of the things Coach Kern wanted to emphasize was their manager, Eric Thine. Had a pre-existing condition from birth that prevents him from playing football. He's a basketball player, but he's been the manager for 4 years, has rarely ever missed a practice. And that's part of that spirit of Eisenhower that the athletic director was talking about at halftime.
Yeah, he was out there on Monday when we were here.
Yeah.
Nick DeFrance. How hard will he kick it this time? Drives that one toward the corner of the end zone, and it will make it in for the touchback.
We didn't want to put that curse on him like we can do so often.
Oh, I do it quite often for the college games that I do as well. So it'll be a running clock here on the snap from the Falcons here from their own 20-yard line. See if we see a couple of new numbers out there now. I see Davey Council out there now, one of the defensive line positions for Eisenhower. Olson's in at a safety here on the near side. Flores. Well, a few times with some room, but then it collapsed almost as immediately as it developed, and he is sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Tom Council, reserve defensive end in there now, gets the sack. It'll be a loss of 3, 2nd and 13.
So Dave Council, Tom Council.
A common council, if you will.
Seeing who gets the upper hand, bragging at the home.
Flores on 2nd and 13. Gets it downfield, completes the catch. Alexopoulos again near the first down sticks. Able to dart out of bounds, but that will end our third quarter here in New Berlin. It's been all Lions tonight and then some. 45-7, New Berlin Eisenhower on top of Whitnall. Our U.S. Cellular Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center. Woodland Conference Championship, one more quarter to play. New Berlin Eisenhower with the huge lead here as we begin the fourth quarter. John Weiser, Terry Kelly up in the booth. John Pearson, Mike McGivern down on the sidelines tonight. And Flores trying a quick count there at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure he got the first down. And they will give it to him without hesitation. Boy, I thought he went down behind the line.
I think the officials, perhaps looking at the score, saying, what do we do? It's contrary to that old song, The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Well, Eisenhower hasn't been sleeping.
Well, he lost control of that snap and fell on it, so that's how they got the first down right at the 30-yard line. Again, they'll empty the backfield here. 5 receivers going out for Flores. Rolling out left. Going deep, looking for Alexopoulos in traffic. Came down with it. Made the catch at the 34-yard line. Nope. They're going to take it away. Incomplete. They said the ball hit the turf. Angiolo out there on the stop. On that pass breakup. Maybe we'll get one more look here. Nearly a remarkable catch there by Alexopoulos in traffic. Get the hand on it, and it looked like it came out just at the end.
Good call.
Jaden Olson out there as well.
Alexopoulos, you can see his athletic ability. Another one of those multi-sport athletes, all-conference basketball, made it to the state track meet in the long jump.
Got to do a better job selling the catch, though.
Yeah.
And Flores dumps it out. Receiver stumbled, and again incomplete. And looking out that way for Miguel Perez. And just as Perez made the break to the ball, he lost his footing.
Whitnall certainly having better success when they roll Flores out, get him away from that pressure.
You see right there, he was make that sharp cut at about the 40-yard line, but with the wet turf. And this is only the second time this year we've been on natural grass.
Right.
3rd and 10. Again, 5 receivers going out. Flores again rolling left for the hash mark. Now cuts it up the field with some running room. He'll dive down. He'll get the first down out near the 37-yard line. Cooper Waring in the game now for the Lions on defense with the tackle.
And once again, trying to give those backups some playing time. You never know when you're going to have to slide one of those guys in as you move through the playoffs.
Again, both teams playoff bound. This game really key game here in the Division III seedings. And Eisenhower's making a statement there as Flores bounces off a tackle, takes it outside, takes another hit at the first down stick. Gain of 11. As Flores took a couple of shots that time and was able to pick up the first down. Ben Lapp along with Jimmy Arcuri both getting shots on Flores.
Well, Jake Flores is certainly not, weeping for what's happened tonight. He's just trying to make plays.
There's that first hit. Then lowers the shoulder again, takes the second hit.
Might have taken a little flop there, I think, in the NBA. It's a foul.
From the 47, 1st and 10. All kinds of time. Now delivers in and out of the receiver's hand. Incomplete. Time intended for Whitnall's Dan Valandia into the ball game now at wide receiver. Again, almost exclusively now. They've taken Malman out. They've gone primarily with 5 receiver sets here. Second and 10. Again, we're a running clock, 35-point or more lead here, so clock continues to roll here, 7:15 to play. Flores on the roll. Has to cut up field, and down he goes. Eli Holke and Council both there. I think it was Council who got credited with the final stop there for the Lions. Loss of 2 sets up a 3rd and 12 here for Whitnall.
See the play again here as he rolls out. Nice open field tackle.
Well, both these teams are going to be a tough out in the playoffs, which gets underway next week Friday. Again, both Division III schools. Catholic Memorial, another Division III school in the area, they will be playing tomorrow night against Waukesha West. Flores nearly picked off through the defender's hands and into the receiver, Alexopoulos, for the catch at the 40-yard line. I think it went through Beekle's hands initially.
Excellent concentration by Alexopoulos that time.
Ben Beekle, the defender, had that one go right off his hands and right into the arms of Alexopoulos. One more look. Good job that time by Dan Alexopoulos, the senior split end. And now timeout taken here by Whitnall. That'll be our 4th quarter break as well. 45-7, Eisenhower on top of Whitnall when we return here on My 24. New Berlin Eisenhower 5 minutes and 46 seconds away from their 16th conference championship in school history. 45-7 your score. It's the classic comedy that you never get tired of watching. Don't miss 2.5 Men, weeknights at 5 and 5:30 right here on Milwaukee's My 24. Brought to you by Sweetwater, our watershed moment of the game. It was early, second play from scrimmage. Himmelspach, the 29-yard touchdown run that started the avalanche tonight for New Berlin Eisenhower. That is our watershed moment of the game. Highlights a game-changing moment and reminds us that you can be a game changer in your watershed. When it rains, stormwater washes litter, yard waste, chemicals, and other debris into our rivers and lakes. Visit respectourwaters.org to learn what you can do to prevent water pollution.
Well, that really set the tone for what happened the rest of that quarter and what's continued on throughout the game.
Flores able to pick up the first down. So Eisenhower going to go in as an undefeated conference champion this season.
It'll be interesting to see how they set this quadrant up.
Hitch and goal, looking for Alexopoulos. It was underthrown, it bounced around, and it was intercepted. Beekle with the interception. It bounced off of Alexopoulos a couple of times, and then Beekle got it just before it went into the end zone. Ben Beekle, defensive back, able to come away with the pick as we get one more look.
Yeah, he's gotten his hands on a number of balls tonight. Beekle gets up there.
Kind of bounced right off the face mask that time of Alexopoulos. So Beekle with the interception. That's our first turnover tonight, I believe.
Right.
Surprising with the score the way it is, but now Eisenhower can just pound this one away. Nathan Doss with his first carry tonight. And we got Eric Dreyer in there now at quarterback for the Lions.
You know, one of the things we can't forget as we watch how this game's turned out is some of the things we've seen these teams do outside of the game. Whitnall, they ran a flag football program for the Special Olympics. We saw Franklin earlier in the year. They match elderly up with their players.
We got a throw here, and it's picked off through the receiver's hands. Intercepted right back by Whitnall. Tyler Arthur. Boy, we have called his name several times tonight. Finally gets his hand on an interception tonight.
That's at least the third time he's gotten his hand on the ball as he's played defensive back.
I'm surprised by the call, as really all Eisenhower needed to do here was run the football. The clock's a continuing clock. It's going to run. So even if you pick up first downs, that clock's still going to go. So this time the Falcons given a short field here. Flores will empty the backfield. 5 receiver set once again. Coming back. Sliding catch with the knee on the turf. Is Pelkoffer with the first catch tonight. Adam Pelkoffer. Gain of about 6.
Once again, it's important for Whitnall to get another score in. Once again, you got to feel a little better about yourself as you walk off the field.
They had the one 80-yard drive here in this second half that you can, if you're looking for a positive here for Whitnall tonight. That was the touchdown drive. Flores again looking for Alexopoulos. Back corner, had it and dropped it incomplete. Oh, he made a nice play. The back pylon that time. Beautiful throw by Flores. Devin Pulowski out there in coverage. He had it.
It's been that kind of night for Whitnall.
They were trying to become the first team in school history to go undefeated throughout the season, regular season. They will make the playoffs. Again, they'll get to Alexopoulos, that far sideline near the 10-yard line. Alexopoulos has had a nice night tonight.
Right. We knew, what a well-regarded receiver he was coming into this game. Certainly not the way he wanted this game to turn out. But once again, you got to have a short memory. Next week, this is done. So you got to look at what's put in front of you.
It'll be 1st and goal near the 10-yard line. See if Whitnall will. Flores cuts it back up the middle. Flores to the goal line. Touchdown, Falcons.
Showing a lot of fight and spirit.
Yes.
He really has.
Well, he's nicknamed the Igniter. He's always positive with the team and always looking to start something out there and drive his team to success. And Flores did that time. That's his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. For the extra point, it is up and it is good. 45-14. Well, let's go to Kara, who earlier had the opportunity to talk with the fine folks at Menards.
Thank you so much. We stopped by the Menards in Franklin to find out a little bit more about what makes Menards a great company. I've got Greg here, who's been with Menards for over 20 years. What makes Menards so unique?
Well, we're a family-owned company. We're based out of Wisconsin. We were founded in 1958. In Wisconsin, we got 43 stores and 12 right here in the Milwaukee area. We just want to be your hometown hardware store. We look forward to serving everybody in our neighborhoods.
And why is it important to support high school sports and Thursday Night Lights?
Well, with our strong values that we have, being family-owned, it kind of goes hand in hand with the strong values that high school athletics have. And we understand that the hard work and dedication make a successful team. We're committed to supporting our communities, and we look forward to serving, our neighborhood family and friends.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this season, and back to you guys.
Kara, thank you. All season we've had the opportunity to talk with sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, finding out what's going on in our schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports brought to you all season long by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Kickoff. Beagle to the 16-yard line. I believe that was Nathan, I think it was Nathan Valcarcel that made the stop. Well, I got the opportunity. Want to thank you, Terry, for another great season here on My 24. We've had a good time.
It's been a blast. The crew from Lakeshore Productions, our producer Paul Ruda, the two gentlemen who serve as spotters throughout the year.
Eric Murray, our spotter, and Tom Sweddle, our statistician. I thank Brian Kelly, who pinch hit a couple of times for Eric this year.
Proves that if you marry well, you can have good-looking children. That's something we did, but it's been tremendous fun. Almost all the if everything holds up, all the teams we broadcast this year are going to make the playoffs.
Matt Kern going to celebrate the 16th conference championship in Eisenhower football history. They will reach the playoffs as an undefeated conference champion. The Woodland Conference champion of 2017, New Berlin Eisenhower. 45-14 victory over the Whitnall Falcons. Falcons, their first loss of the season.
And I'm sure, the Falcons can look back on what they've accomplished. Tonight didn't go the way they want, but you get another chance next week. Eisenhower wants to keep it rolling.
45-14, back with our postgame and our awards right after this. The New Berlin Eisenhower Lions cap off a perfect regular season with the Woodland Conference Championship tonight as they knock off the Whitnall Falcons 45-14. So the Lions will enter Division III playoffs next week, most likely with a home game as an undefeated conference champion.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they get the number one seed in this quadrant down here, and that all gets decided very late Friday evening. Coaches don't know till early Saturday morning where they're going to go for the meeting.
I understand our good friend Dick Basham going to be involved with that.
They bring him in as a consultant. I think, he gets to list that title after his name as well, besides being a Hall of Fame coach.
He'll be working on that up at Stevens Point. Let's head down to the sideline, tonight's Player of the Game award.
So, guys, U.S. Army player of the game. He had a big game. I'll tell you what, congratulations, young man. Yeah, so this is a nice way to end the regular season.
Definitely, yeah.
Hey, so this offensive line does a good job, huh?
Yeah, they do. They're outstanding this year.
Hey, so you kind of look at this almost as the start of the playoff run, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Team speed, yeah, man, they're having fun back here because you know what? He's doing great. U.S. Army player of the game.
All right, so on behalf of the United States Army, I'd like to present to you this plaque from the United States Army Player of the Game.
Sergeant Lewis, back to you, boys.
Well, Mr. Himmelspach had quite a ball game tonight. He is our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong, and right off the get-go tonight, the 29-yard touchdown run. First of 2 tonight for Jack Himmelspach, 15 carries, 160 yards.
Well,
tonight.
Coach Kern told us what a great surprise he's been, moving from tight end into the backfield, and he's done an outside job, and what a great pairing with Belangi.
Jack Himmelspach, our player of the game, brought to you all season long by the United States Army, Army Strong. 45-14 your final here tonight. Back down to the sideline now for our trophy presentation, brought to you by Rudig Trophies. When you think trophies, think Rudig Trophies. Once again, here's Mike.
Hey, one of the big boys going to take this. Who wants this? 58, right there. Yeah, to him. Hey, so I asked Coach Kern, I said, hey, offensive lineman, give me one. He goes, no. I said, give me 2. No. He said, let's go all 4. He said, these guys can hold this trophy. Coach, this was really, really impressive. Look, you told me again early on that you guys had a chance to be really good. We had a lot of people watching tonight that saw just how good this team is.
Yeah, I think we were pretty excited about the opportunity that we had here tonight, and I think the way we came out explosively running the ball tonight made a huge difference. Our defense stepped up, played as well as they have all year, and it's a great first half.
Hey, Coach, playoffs coming. How do you change as a staff? Do you guys change up practice at all? Do you guys just do you keep doing what you guys do?
We changed up some things a few weeks ago to tighten up some areas that we wanted to work on. But at this point, it's going to be kind of our regular routine, and we feel pretty good about the way we practice and what we get done, so we're going to stick with it.
Coach, we always get some of the pretty boys thinking they got to get time. He's right there. Hey, boys, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. Coach, well done.
Thanks, Mike.
Woodland Conference champions 2017, New Berlin Eisenhower, 45-14 over Whitnall tonight. We'll step out, back with a final word from New Berlin Eisenhower right after this. Eisenhower a 45-14 win, 9-0 on the season. Whitnall falling to 8-1. The undefeated conference champion of the Woodland for 2017 belongs to the Lions. Our play of the game tonight brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. Second touchdown drive tonight. It was Miller on a scramble, finding Helluson with a diving 20-yard catch. Best look right here. Got it just before it went out of bounds. Our play of the game brought to you by Goodwill and the Power of Work. I want to thank our sports team all season long for giving you these fine pictures and all of the action here on My 24. For John Pearson and Kara, also for Mike McGivern down on the sideline, my broadcast booth partner Terry Kelly, Eric Murray, our spotter, and Tom Swiddle, our statistician. John Weiser saying thanks for being with us all season long. Don't forget tonight's game rebroadcast Sunday night at 7. We look forward to bringing you more high school football next season right here on My 24. Good night from New Berlin.
U.S. Cellular's Thursday Night Lights presented by Northwest Surgery Center on My 24 is brought to you by U.S. Cellular, in the middle of anywhere. Northwest Surgery Center, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Menards, and by the Big 920. Additional support has been provided by the U.S. Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Sweetwater, Gruber Law Offices, and Bryant and Stratton College Athletics.